the directorship of the Central Intelligence Agency is no longer the plum job that it used to be. I mean, it's not a very enviable position to have. In fact, it's now second rung behind the Director of National Intelligence. So I think you're playing second fiddle to a bigger cabinet portfolio in the Director of National Intelligence. So I think that the administration, the incoming administration, had a hard time finding someone who was competent and willing to do the job. Panetta comes to the job as former Chief of Staff of the President of the United States. In that job, you're really at the pinnacle of American power. I mean, anything related to foreign or domestic policy that goes to the President goes to the Chief of Staff. So I think just by virtue of that position, you have a considerable amount of international experience, and I think that isn't appreciated from those, speaking to the press in the bowels of the Central Intelligence Agency. So I think really a former Chief of Staff has a considerable amount of experience and knows what is important for the President and what's not important for the President. And that's important for the Director of Central Intelligence. Also, access to the White House and the ability to deal with the President as Commander-in-Chief. These are intangibles that I think bureaucrats inside the intelligence community just don't appreciate. I draw an analogy with the Secretary of Defense, Robert Gates. I mean, Robert Gates has an intelligence background. He doesn't have a background in the Department of Defense. He came with very few of his own people in the Department of Defense, and yet he's done a remarkably competent and sophisticated job. So I think Leon Panetta could do the same for the intelligence agency. But he's got to, I think, look beyond the senior leadership of the Central Intelligence Agency and get down in the ranks and try to pick out the talented people that can do business not as it's been done in the past. Because quite frankly, I think the Central Intelligence Agency has done some things well, but overall it's for long-term practices have not been sufficient to be for a first-rate intelligence organization.